Yo, people, lateness is greatness for Tobs, but welcome back to the YouTube channel. You already know what time it is. It's time for London Club's Carnage. Of course, the weekly show that you love and adore. We're going to get into it. I mean, to be honest, it's tough. We were just discussing before we went live. It's not easy because there's games midweek. There's games, obviously, we just seen at the weekend. By the time it comes out, did somebody else play twice? It will be us. Do you know what I mean? So then will it make as much sense? There'll be more context to what's going on when other teams play and whatnot. So it's going to be a mumbo jumbo episode in terms of we're going to focus mainly on transfer news because there's only a few days left. West Ham have got a marquee man through the door and they've got a win. So I do want to save West Ham's fantastic week to when Tobes gets here. So then when Lawless can just kick off and just absolutely annihilate him, I'm sure. So Tobes will be here soon. At some point, we pray and hope. This man is a busy man indeed. Too busy for his own good. But, you know, Lawless, talk to me. How you feeling?
I'm feeling good. Like, you know, the season's back. Premier League football is back. It's been a nice break since the last, end of last season. So I've had a good summer off. And now, first game of the season, we've got our win. Season starting, man. We're ready. We're ready and we're ready to build on it. You know, we've got our signings in. So, happy to have the season back underway.
Interesting. I mean, it's not bad. It's not bad. That signing that you made there, it's the first time I can sit here. I mean, Scamacca was a good one, but Paqueta.
I've got some things to say about that signing. I've got some people to call out, but I'm waiting for Tobes to come here, come on and
yeah. So we won't ruin the moment.
Few people are going to have to hear from me.
Potts, talk to me. How you feeling, bro? How you doing? Another win.
Yeah, I'm really good, man. Top of the league, and I'm going to try and milk it for as long as it lasts because I know it's not going to last forever. So another weekend to enjoy, and I feel like the result, as far as we're concerned, was one that we perhaps haven't seen under Mikel Arteta many times. So when we go 1-0 down, a lot of our heads go normally. To turn it around is always good. And actually, do you know what? I want to big up Fulham a bit, actually, because I've been really impressed with them the first few games. I went into this game thinking that it might have been a little bit easier than it was, and that was more for me, really. They've impressed, to be honest with you. Mitrovic is a handful. Doesn't help when you gift the goal like we did, but the way we come back into it was decent. So, yeah, I'm liking what I'm seeing, man, and big up Lawless because he has said that they're going to make some signings. And to be fair, West Ham will look back at this window now and be pretty happy, I would imagine. I mean, you know, Carrera and Aguerd at the back now, Paqueta and Scamacca. There's no excuses but finishing above Man United now as far as Lawless is concerned. So let's hope he's not in the mud come May. Do you know what I mean?
True, very true. It's actually been a good window. And I think it puts more pressure on Moyes again to kind of try and not eclipse, but at least keep it consistent as to the roundabout where you're finishing. I know there's other threats with Newcastle and even Brighton are playing pretty well themselves. But you know, I think West Ham, the recruitment, you wanna keep striving for those European places at the minimum, for sure.
There's a rumor, Matisse, with West Ham. Moyes fancies giving Paqueta his debut in March, apparently. So that'll be good to see.
Listen,
just after the World Cup.
We want to see him bright and early. We want to see him bright and early, honestly, for sure. But you know, like if there's pressure on West Ham to finish, you know, above Man United, then there surely is pressure on the best team in the world, Arsenal Football Club, to be winning the league and the Europa League and maybe a cheeky little cup run, maybe a treble. Well, you know, the expectations for the best team in the world, you know, you've got to be high. So anything less is surely means Dan is going to be in the mud come.
Listen, you know why I won't? You know why I won't be in the mud? Because I never said it. Mikel Arteta did.
Yeah,
that's why I won't be in the mud. My manager will be in the mud. I won't be in the mud.
Your club, your team will be in the mud. Your team will be in the mud. The greatest team in the world, apparently. It's like I bet, don't even act like you haven't sat there and sang, by far the greatest team the world has ever seen is Arsenal, all that shit. Don't act like you've never sung that.
So you're saying you've never sung that with West Ham? Because I know for a fact
we don't sing that. We don't sing that stupid song. We don't sing that stupid song. By far the greatest team. We never sing that.
What, you haven't won a World Cup. Your fans don't sing about winning World Cups and stuff, no?
We actually don't have a song about winning the World Cup. We don't have a song. We just like to remind people,
yeah,
that we won it. So all I'm saying is, Poch, you can say that Mikel Arteta is going around saying you've got the greatest team in the football, and we don't agree. But you lot sing it week in, week out.
Yeah, no, you're right. Our fans say it as well, but I won't be in the mud because
Yeah.
I don't think we have the best team in the world. But you told me you're going to finish above Man United, so go do it, man. Go do it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, look, Man United's got what, a little win now. They got a little win over Liverpool, and they got another little win, and now they're like back. They're back again.
I don't think
they've made their own Brazilian signing of their own. You know, in fact, I have to say Arteta has actually warmed up on me since the Amazon documentary. I've loved his little passionate rants. Listen, guys, listen. You have to fucking run, okay? You have to run, and you have to show 100%.
Win a duel.
Win. You have to win all the time, guys. This is Arsenal.
Is he going to be up for the Oscar? Like, you know, next year, is he going to be up for the Oscars?
He loves the cameras, don't he? Jesus,
honestly,
he loves the cameras. I don't think he come across as bad as some people are making out. I mean, and that's coming from me, who's not a huge fan of some of the stuff he's done. I think you can't deny the fact he cares, and you can't deny the fact that their players actually do respect him and listen to him. But some of the stuff he come up with, man, I was like, wow, this is different.
I love the potato video that went out there. And the guy was saying that you have to be the potato. You have to be the potato. You have to be. Sometimes you have to be mashed. Sometimes you have to be. Like it's just. I think it's brilliant.
So funny. All the Arsenal fans replying, going, "This isn't funny. This is just not funny."
Do you know what? The one thing I will say where I actually genuinely was impressed was the way that he dealt with the Aubameyang situation behind the scenes. It's exactly how I would have wanted my manager to deal with that situation. I think even the way that we dealt with Lukaku last season, I think was impressive as well. I like it when managers stamp their authority and they make it very, they put their standards and their kind of consistencies up here with the top players. They don't allow the top players to try and break through that and piss them around on all these things. And considering he's a young manager who hasn't won anything, I thought, well, he's won the FA Cup, but considering he's not like a big name manager, I said, yeah, fair play.
I liked the way that he dealt with the team when we lost the games that we were really pouring, like particularly the Everton one where he just walked in and just went, I'll talk to you tomorrow. Just walked off. Sometimes that's like, wow, this manager is so annoyed with us. He doesn't even want to talk to us. And the Newcastle one, he's like, you can throw stuff around if you want. It's too late. You've ruined this all. I'll take the hit shit like I always do. You lot just sit there. And I thought, yeah, fair play, man. I can get behind this. Some of the stuff I couldn't understand. The Liverpool speakers Anfield one was embarrassing. The drawing the hearts and the brains on the wall. What was that all about? With the little hands and the smiley faces. I didn't get that. And I didn't get the graph thing where he told us all about how he nearly died when he was younger and how, you know, he now loves you all and you're going to get him through it. And then because we went and beat Norwich, the Arsenal fans are now claiming that he's a genius. I didn't really get that one. But some of the stuff I like.
Teachers that try too hard. You know, they try too hard to be the cool teacher that, you know, they reach through to the kids with in another way. He's like that. I tell you what was cringe though, that fucking photographer geezer who come in and go, I fucking love you, I love you, I love this club, you, all that shit. It's like, mate,
I didn't watch all the episodes. I just watched the ones where Arsenal, I knew they were going to.
I just see that on Twitter, to be fair. I just see apparently they
love that. Now that one I didn't mind so much, but what I question mark is if you're asking the photographer to come and do the team talk, you ain't in a good place, really, are you? Do you know what I mean? That was what I thought.
It's oh my god! And you can see the players were probably thinking, "What the fuck is this all about?" This geezer's crying at us, like, "Come on, man!" Like,
very strange behaviours happening in front of us here.
Yeah, but yeah, like it's been a good weekend. Are you back, Sterling? Sterling's doing his thing. You're back.
I wouldn't say we're back. I mean, we still have the same midfield issues. We did go down to 10 men and we were once again with another red card, back-to-back games.
So why'd you let Ross Barkley go? You got midfield issues. You're letting Ross Barkley go. What's going on?
Because we also have standards, Lawless.
Conor Gallagher going as well, they reckon, last minute move.
I would be surprised if he does go, because a replacement would need to come in, which I wouldn't be against. You know, I think somebody who actually suits a double pivot, somebody that actually suits playing in the first phase in the deep areas of midfield, but that's not going to happen. Yeah, like De Jong, but that's not going to happen. So there's no point even getting my hopes up. We'll continue to play him out of position until we rejig the rest of our team, I guess. But for us, yeah, I mean, you know, down to 10 men, you know, and then by the time this goes out, we would have played Southampton. So then we'll see if that momentum really continued. But yeah, I think
Southampton are poor
issues. Yeah.
Like,
Well, I don't want to speak too much about it because by the time this goes out, Southampton would have played us. And
come on, let's
we're not going to do that.
Like, yeah, we're gonna smash.
Absolutely late into Southampton. By the time this goes out, 1-1 or some shit like that. No, but I wanted to talk about the transfer window so far because obviously there's only a couple of days. By the time we next speak, it will be all over. There's only about a couple of days left of it. 3 days, including today, so 2 and a bit now. Satisfied? I'll start with you, Lawless. Are you satisfied? Paqueta's come in, Scamacca, Cornet, new defenders. Emerson?
Yeah, I would say I'd have to give it like a solid 8, 9 out of 10. Like for real, when I look at what we've brought in, how much we've brought in, Scamacca and Paqueta, 2 top quality signings. There he is, the
man, the myth, the legend. He's not quite ready. Don't go anywhere.
So two absolute top class signings that elevate us completely. Then we signed obviously a left back in Emerson Palmieri, who it wasn't the most exciting transfer I was looking for at left back, but he did a decent job when he come in. Surely is going to be better than Creswell has been lately. Happy with that. Signed a shitload of centre backs. Well, we signed Kerr and Aguerd. Aguerd got injured. But yeah, Kerr is looking really good. He's starting to settle in nicely. Like Aston Villa, yeah, he was good for that. He was good in that game. Flynn Downs, I think, is going to take some time. That's one for the future. Cornet, obviously, we got him in. Like we got some good players. I think if we got one like really good centre midfielder in, that would take it to a perfect window for me.
Do you see like Paqueta playing in the 10 more further forward?
Yeah, it has to be for me. It has to be a 10. Like it's where he plays for Lyon predominantly. I think he plays there for Brazil as well. Like, but he's versatile. But like, if we're playing him deeper than that, I think you're just losing quite a bit of that. Yeah, like the idea of having him linking up with Scamacca, yeah, like it's just and Scamacca's link up play, has been quality, and having someone like Paqueta and then him putting them balls through, I think he'd be wasted in centre midfield, but it's an option to have.
But ideally, you would have wanted a proper player that could play next to Rice.
Yeah, like definitely. That's what takes it to a 10 out of 10 for me. If we got someone like that, that would be perfect. But like I really want to see him just start to move Fornals there, play Fornals in that position, and play Paqueta of in front of Fornals. Them two working together. You have Benrahma, or Cornet in there, man. Honestly, like it's exciting. But Moyes, like Dan, made his jibe about earlier, he needs to play these players. That's what I need to see. Paqueta is signed up. I think he's done everything he needs to do, so he's ready for Spurs. He's never going to start in a million years, but I want to see him at least on the bench, and then see him against Chelsea. Throw him straight in there against Chelsea. That's what I want to see. But it wouldn't surprise me if we see Lanzini come in actually still, because.
And what about Benrahma? Is he still important?
Benrahma.
Sound like you're about to tell a story.
Yeah, honestly, like when I see the lineup against Villa and that he weren't in it, I was baffled. I was like, first he went for a formation change, this 5 at the back, which I've been against. Like a lot of our fans have been like, yeah, we need to play 3 at the back, 5 at the back, whatever. Like, nah, I do not want to see it, and it was complete trash. But yeah, the fact that I see Benrahma, who's been our best player so far this season, dropped. I was shocked. I was horrified. So yeah, to me, and he come on and changed the game. So Benrahma has to be a key part of the team. As much as I think like Cornet, I'd play Cornet on the right, to be fair, because Bowen's not doing it. He's just not doing it right now. He needs dropping. But yeah, Benrahma has to be one of the first names on the team sheet until he goes a few games, off the rails. But yeah, Moyes can piss me off like that sometimes, just dropping Benrahma out there, like honestly. And if he does it, honestly, if Benrahma's not playing against Spurs, honestly, I don't know what to think. That's the thing. Our fans are like, oh well.
Is he untouchable to your fan base?
No, a lot of our fans give him a lot of shit.
Because I'm just thinking, like, if he was to, we spoke about it before, I think, with Poch, but if he was to underachieve in any way, maybe just potentially you guys would be like, I feel like the manager market is dictated by who's unavailable, who's unemployed. And if there's a talented potential top manager, because I still think Poch has the potential to be a top manager. I think some of the conclusions people have come to after this PSG stint is very harsh, considering the environment that PSG create when you go there, or have existing when you turn up. I think Poch has the potential to be a top manager. So if you have the opportunity to bring in, because Moyes has a ceiling, it's very clear, and it's around about where you are. Whereas I think if Poch is available and Moyes is not exactly kicking the door down and is not exactly maybe getting the best out of those attacking more technical talents that you've now recruited, because you're trying to go up a level, maybe play a certain brand of football, is there a chance that you rattle the shit out of Tobes and bring in Poch? Because that's what I want. As much as I like what Moyes has done, that's what I want to see.
That, I mean, yeah, like when you put it to me that way,
yes,
the idea of bringing in Poch, rattling the Spurs fans, us actually imagine he won a trophy with us. Oh my god, if he won a trophy. Listen, anything, any trophy, if Poch won it with West Ham, it'd be beautiful. But Moyes, he's been backed now. This is now time for him to show what he can do. He's been backed in the window. We have to see what he can do this season. As much as Poch is out there, Moyes has earned some time. But it was funny enough, like that during that first half when I was doing my watch along, I was seeing quite a few people with the Moyes out, saying Moyes out. Like the Moyes out started to take a bit of momentum, and I think that win has taken some pressure off him. Like there'll still be most that will defend him, but you start to get that vocal minority. It's always been like, if you say Moyes out, like everyone just shouts you down and say, "Oh, you're embarrassing," whatever. But that's where it started to turn, and I think if we would have lost that Villa game, he would have been under some serious pressure for sure. But yeah, like I said, the board have got the players in for him. Now, Moyes, there's no excuses. We have to have a good season. So it's going to be interesting. But yeah, I wouldn't just sack him just because Poch is available. You just got to try and stick with him. And then when it is time, if it is, when or if it's time to sack him, then you kind of look at who's going to be available then, because there could be some good managers. Arteta might be available, the best manager in the world. We can get him and he can assemble the best team in the world, and then we're winning the lot, mate. So you never know.
Because Potts, I'm going to bring it to you. I mean, I've got their transfers up now. They've spent peas. Like West Ham they've gone balls to the walls. Do you know what I mean? They've actually spent a decent amount of dollar. When you take a look at it, like they brought in 16 million with the sale of Diop. Yarmolenko went on a free. Fredericks went on a free. Vlasic went on a loan deal. Masuaku went on a loan deal. Trott went on a loan deal. And then they brought in just bare players, and they signed, defenders. They've got a couple of midfielders. Downsley's even coming from Swansea. Maybe that counts as your centre mid. I know probably not the starting level that you want, but we'll have to see how he goes. Aguerd, Cornet, Scamacca, Paqueta, the new goalkeeper. That's going to be incredible. I look forward to seeing him one day. Emerson.
Yeah, he's going to be classy. He's going to be.
Carragher from PSG, like 160 million outlay. And what's so sad about all of that is I just can't see how they go up a position with everybody that's spent above them. As much as 160 million outlay is impressive for West Ham, and it definitely keeps Karen in-house from the apprentice and whatnot, surely it's going to be difficult to go above wherever they finished last season, which is 7th, because everybody above them has just smashed that threshold even more.
Yeah, but
it's hard. It's hard to creep into the big six.
Top Pots, I'm going to because you was about to talk, so I'm going to let you tell me this. What have Man United smashed on? Like, really, I know like they've signed like, here's Anthony, and Casemiro, like spent on
and Martinez.
But throughout their whole team, like, tell me, Pots, what really? Give me the assessment that says Man United have really opened the gap on us.
Well, first of all, I didn't say that they had. But if you want me to ask the question whether you think they will.
Team said it, but because you was talking, I wanted you to answer it. Because
I'm not even saying they've opened up a gap, but I don't think you're going to be able to leapfrog a team that's much more technical that will, as the season goes on, I think get better and better. They have a style of play that they're working towards.
But the thing is,
will they go on and get better is the question.
Last season was Man United's worst ever season. Like in God knows when.
Exactly. And I think that's the point that needs to be stressed, right? It's not a diss on West Ham. West Ham have done quite well in the last 2 seasons. It's more a fact of West Ham have done this well, and the highest you finish is 6th. And last season, and last season you finished 7th with European football. Yes. Now you've bolstered the team, and now I think there's been a deliberate push by West Ham to make sure this team is insulated. So when European football commences, and if they get as far as they did last season, their season won't be as hampered as it was last time round, with injuries, with fatigue, etc., etc. So I do get that aspect, and I think they can they have made up some ground in that regard. But fundamentally, it's still yet to be proven that West Ham are a good enough side to definitely finish above Man United. You can, but right now, we have to go off what we saw last season, and based off what we saw last season, I don't think it's a nailed-on conclusion that West Ham, even with Paqueta and co, will finish above Man United. I don't think it's
not a nailed-on conclusion that they'll finish above us.
It isn't, but you'd put your money on you.
I know I'd place my bets for sure.
You put your money over, exactly. They're more likely to do it over you because they've done it over the years. They've done it over the years.
And they've done it last season with, and I know you guys had European football to contest with, but Sancho massively underperforming. You can't expect him to be that shit again, to be honest. Like Anthony comes through the door. They've got a lot more forward options than just Ronaldo now that you'd expect to lean on for goals. Even Bruno Fernandes last season wasn't really that impressive. He'll have to somehow get back to a level. And there's actually balance in their team now. There's no McTominay who has to be the linchpin in midfield. You have Casemiro, a Champions League winning midfielder year after year after year, who's going to bring some sort of quality there. And then you have Martinez, and then you have the new left back that isn't sure. And now the manager's got the sense to even play a more technically sound footballer at right back than Wan-Bissaka. So it's just
who's the more technically sound
Dallo over Wan-Bissaka.
Shit, bro.
Dallo is better than Wan-Bissaka, bro, technically.
No, he isn't, bro. Dallo is crap.
You'd rather have Wan-Bissaka in a possession-based system than Dallo.
It doesn't matter. Wan-Bissaka is a much better defender. Dallo can't defend, and going forward, he doesn't even offer them much. He's crap.
He's not crap, bro.
The way you're hyping him up, Matisse, I'm actually thinking, no, you might be right. And it might be Chelsea that we finish above and get 6. It might be. The way you're hyping him up, and I'm looking at Chelsea now, and I'm looking at them differently because you still need to make some signings. You still got to, invest and strengthen that team, and you haven't done it to that level yet. You haven't got a Aubameyang over the line. You ain't got that midfielder.
Listen, West Ham have had a decent window. Yeah, that's a decent tune, by the way. That's a decent ringtone.
Nice ringtone. The most basic ringtone of everybody.
Yeah, that is everyone loves that one. Yeah, West Ham have had a good window. They have. They can sit there and say they've had a good window. I think Scamacca, I think Paqueta, I think Maxwell Cornet. They've got in the 2 centre halves that they obviously rate and wanted. But what comes with that is more pressure on West Ham to progress. Now, I think personally that Manchester United will be better than they were last season because they've got a manager that's better than what they had previously. Well, actually, the last 2 managers they had previously. They've now got a manager who, let's be honest, has spent 250 to 260 million now. I think they've spent something mad, and they're still not done. So he's got the players and been backed now to come in and implement a style of play. And that's something we haven't really seen at Manchester United for a while. So if Man United don't do it this season, then I don't know where they go from here. But surely they can't get any worse. So can West Ham get any better? That's the question I can't answer yet.
Yeah,
I think United can definitely get worse, but you would think that they definitely can get worse, but you would think that with the added investment in some problem areas, not all the problem areas, left back, left centre back, defensive midfield, that's 3 problem areas of the team that they've addressed. And now they've added another winger. We all knew that they needed another winger as well. So you're just thinking with 4 players that they brought in those positions, players that the manager wanted 1,000%. And you're like Pot said, I think the biggest factor, a factor that even helped us, Spurs, the manager. Having a manager that can squeeze more with an identical group of players, bar 1 or 2 or 3, can be the difference. And I think with West Ham,
let's see over time though, because he hasn't been.
We will see. It's not no done, but I think with West Ham, it's more a case of like last season, you were playing to your maximum, and you still didn't finish above them.
We were stretched to our limits.
But that's the point. Exactly, you were stretched to your limits. So I'm saying,
and now our limits have been increased.
Yeah, I mentioned that, Lawless. I've actually been fair on West Ham. I've not even said any agendas or anything like that.
Listen, we won the weekend, and you've been trying to duck and dive this show.
Why would I
just, you know what I mean?
Wait.
Now
I'm
we've
not trying
won.
to duck and dive anything. You were rubbish against Aston Villa. I had that game on in the background. It was a terrible game of football. If that game ended 0-0, no one would have complained. Even the goal you scored, it was a massive deflection, bro. Like, what are you talking about? Why would I be ducking you for beating a sorry Aston Villa side 1-0 to take yourself from 20th to, like, I don't know where you are on the table now, like 16th? Where the fuck are you?
We won and we tried to better. We beat the Kostic allegations, yeah? You lot were throwing that in my face.
They're 16th, literally. They are 16th.
What formation did you play on the weekend? Potts, did you see the formation they played on the weekend?
Yes,
no, I didn't see it.
Oh, well, I'll let you know. They played 3 at the back.
Go for it.
They played 3 at the back. Would you have ever guessed?
Oh wow, really? With Emerson at left wing back? oh wow!
Wow! Emerson was left wing back.
And I'm hearing that they're probably going to play 3 at the back again against Spurs.
Wow! Look at Lawless. Lawless, you play a 3-5-2. Welcome.
You guessed this, Potts.
Welcome, man. Welcome to the 3 at the back gang, bro. It's good to have you.
He had the cheek to tell me I was ducking him. Are you crazy?
I'm not going to lie to you. Kostic would have been a really good left wing back for you.
Listen, right, Kostic, I'm sorry, but Paqueta is a bigger signing than Kostic would have been, yeah? Tobs and Potts were trying to get onto me. Oh, you can get Kostic. Where's Kostic? Where's Kostic? Who gives a shit? We got Paqueta in. Yeah, that's a bigger signing. What are you saying now? Your club tried to hijack it. You tried to hijack it. Arsenal and Spurs.
Big bollocks. West Ham are signing over Arsenal and Spurs.
We didn't want him, man. We didn't want him.
Bullshit.
We passed on him, man. We passed on it.
Do you think that Paqueta would go to West Ham over Spurs or Arsenal?
You tried to hijack it last minute. That's
rubbish. Who said that? Tell me who said that, Lord. Tell me who said this.
Which source is this? Because I haven't seen
source is this now? Arsenal and Tottenham have missed out on Paqueta to West Ham. Tell me the source.
It's Frodinho Romano. That's the source.
I cannot reveal my sources, but it's out there.
Of course.
Usually you put all of your sources in the group chat. Why not now?
No, because these ones are a little bit more personal. If I put them out there, it puts them people in jeopardy.
Spurs who have not even targeted, Spurs who have not even made any moves to sign a player that plays in Paqueta's position this summer, apparently tried to hijack the deal.
The same way you tried to hijack our stadium when we went for it. You tried to hijack our stadium. Now you're trying to
hijack your stadium.
Yeah, you did. You forgot that, yeah? Bro, you don't remember that. You don't remember when you tried to hijack our stadium?
No, I do remember. I do remember that, but
yeah,
you comparing bidding for a fucking stadium to a player.
I'm just saying it's out there. But what I'm saying is, you're trying to say that we couldn't get players on the caliber of Kostic.
Your point doesn't make sense. You're talking about trying to hijack. Both sides clearly needed a bigger stadium. That's why we were going for that stadium. Spurs would like someone like Paqueta. I would like someone like Paqueta on our team. I wanted Spurs to sign 8.5, someone who could create, someone who could score goals, etc., etc. But Conte did not want that. Nor have we made bids for any players that play in that position this summer. So why on earth would then I believe that all of a sudden, because you were signing this guy, Spurs made the last minute bid that got.
I think Fabrizio said that the Premier League club did try to hijack it, and I had it on good authority that both Arsenal and Spurs were the ones. Because you're haters, you're jealous. You can't ever let us have something, can you?
Second of all, why would it be Arsenal? Arsenal signed Fabio Vieira, and Arsenal had rumored.
I think they realised Vieira's not the guy.
I've given too much time for Lawless's trolling. I'm moving on.
Wait. Let me
I've given
just
too much
say
time.
this, right? I
Too
just
much
want an
time to it.
apology.
I
want an apology because Tobs and Potts said that we can't sign a player the caliber of Kostic, and we've signed a better player.
What?
So I've got to apologise because you didn't get Kostic, and I told you wouldn't get Kostic.
We said you wouldn't sign Kostic. That's what we said.
Yeah, because you said
I didn't mention Paqueta at all.
You didn't mention anything about Paqueta. You weren't even linked with Paqueta, bro.
Even the Lyon president was like, we thought bigger clubs would come in for Paqueta. But
yeah, do you know why? Because he's a salty little bitch. Because we slapped them in Europa League and took their best player.
Oh, poor them! You paid 51. They got 51 million pounds for a player. They paid what, like 18 million euros for?
No, they ain't.
God.
They ain't got that.
They cope?
Why are you making up figures? They got like 40 something million pound that we ain't paid no add-ons yet. We ain't paid no add-ons. If he meets the add-ons, then it just shows, you know, we've really got a good player there. But my point was, you lot acted as if a player on the level of Kostic would never come West Ham. And we have a player who is is Brazilian international, starts for Brazil, has come to West Ham.
No. You're doing that thing again where you're lying and you're twisting the narrative. You've paid big money for Paqueta. It's not like we
paid less than you paid for Richarlison.
Yeah, Richarlison's a bloody attacker. What are you talking about? Richarlison's an attacker who plays in the Premier League and has played in the Premier League. How dare you even compare the two? What are you saying?
How dare you? Wait, how dare you say how dare me to compare them?
I've not even said that to say that Richarlison's a better player than Paqueta. That's not the point I'm making. The point I'm making to you is you spoke about Kostic. I said Kostic has me and Pot said Kostic has a year left on his deal. He's 30 years old. He's just won the Europa League. He wants to play Champions League football. Why on earth do you think that he's going to choose West Ham? That was what was being questioned.
No, because there was another good player we were linked with as well.
You've overpaid. You have overpaid for Paqueta.
How dare you tell me when you was out here fighting every Spurs fan going who was saying you overpaid for Richarlison?
I agree we overpaid for Richarlison. I said we overpaid for Richarlison by about 10 million. I said we overpaid for Richarlison. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. I said we overpaid by Richarlison by about 10 million. But the market dictates that you can pay that price for Richarlison. Same way, the market dictates that you can probably pay around 51 million for a player of Paqueta's quality. But it doesn't change the fact that you have overpaid. You spent the money that other teams were not willing to spend to get Paqueta.
Come on.
Because if they were willing to spend that money on Paqueta, he would not be at West Ham. That's a fact.
No, because listen, I think that's not a fact. Because you know what?
It is a fact.
It's not a fact. Because I said this to a West Ham fan. A West Ham fan said to me, "Oh, well, why is no top clubs going for him then if he's that good?" And it's just people think like, "Oh, great players available, they're just going to go for it." Not all different clubs have different needs at that time.
Agreed.
Sometimes you know, so say for example, like Man United needed a number 10 badly. They would have paid that money for it. Arsenal would have paid that money if you needed that position. We needed that position filled more than any of you needed that position.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it goes. So it's not as if like, oh, he's not good enough for them clubs or them clubs don't want him. It's that's not a priority position. So listen, obviously,
this is going to be a praise West Ham episode, but you're trolling and rattling has managed to ruin it.
Because I'm waiting. I want the praise. I'm waiting.
That's what I'm going to get to. I was going to ask Toby where would he rate your window and how high would he rank it. It seems like you guys have done a lot of business. A lot of players.
I'm just saying. I've put up with a lot of smoke from particularly Tobes, some Dan the past few weeks. Now I need to, you know.
It's been a very good window for them. I think they've added depth out wide. They've added finally a number 9. They've added 2 new centre backs. They've added a number 10. They've added a fullback. So yeah, it's been a very good window for West Ham. I think the only thing that I was missing was just that midfielder to make it like a perfect 10 window. Was that sort of midfielder who could oust that bum.
You and Lawless finally agreed on something.
Who could oust that bum from the squad. But honestly, I think it's been a really good window for West Ham. I won't argue against that. But Let's see it.
Moyes has got to make it work. Yeah,
Let's
contract till 2024. We'll have to see.
On paper, it looks really good.
I want to give Arsenal some airtime because Elneny's injured. And Partey also has problems. And I'm wondering...
Who would have thought it?
Yeah, who would have thought, right? Who would have thought?
Who would have thought that might happen?
And all summer, we were sitting here saying, in particular, that you need a sitting midfielder. And people were saying Tielemans. Tielemans is like a bonus, in my opinion. Need a left 8 more, even though you have Zinchenko that could go there. You have Odegaard that plays in midfield.
They need both, bro. They need both.
But you definitely need a sitter because Partey is actually injury prone. And now Elneny's gone down. And you could even argue Elneny's not even good enough anyway to start, if Partey was to be out for a long period of time. So, Potts, what now? Are you going to go and get a holding midfielder? Do you have the confidence that you can get that done in the next couple of days? Or is that Rapidino in that position? Is there a wrap?
I think it's Lokonga FC, man. They've had long enough, bro. They've had long enough. I don't feel there's ever been a chance that we're going to go and get a holding midfielder in this window. I haven't seen us linked with any. I don't know if you three can give me a name that we've been linked with that's a holding sitting midfielder. I've heard Tielemans. I've heard Milinkovic-Savic, who's not a defensive midfielder. He's more of a box-to-box, albeit he could probably do the job there, but I don't want someone to do the job because we've already got players that can do the job. Sometimes doing the job is okay, as you saw against Fulham, but it ain't good when you've got Man United coming up, you've got Spurs coming up, and our fixtures are going to get tougher. So when I look at what Elneny brings to the team, it's probably £7 million worth. That's what he was. And in this last 6 years, he's probably provided that. Lokonga, for me, proved last season he weren't ready, and he's been playing as a left 8 for most of the pre-season. So when you look at what Arteta's already done last season, which is give Lokonga a break from this holding midfield role when Partey's out, put Elneny there, you now see in 4 games' time, 4 games into the season, that Elneny is now out for what we believe to be long-term, not a couple of weeks. And Partey is apparently out for 2 to 3 weeks, which is going to miss a big chunk of games because of the amount we've got to play in that time. Arsenal fans are now all of a sudden a little bit shocked and worried. Well, not me, because I've been crying out for the last 3 months for this position to be covered. Now, when we were linked with Tielemans, I thought it was a good idea because obviously we still need a better left 8 than Granit Xhaka, albeit he's playing well at the moment. Then I see Zinchenko come in and people are talking about him being an option there, but he's been playing at left back. And to be fair, is doing a better job than Kieran Tierney there, another player that can't keep fit. So I still see that we're going to be short because we've got, 55 hours of this window left and we need about 3 heads coming in. Now, there's rumours that we're looking at a midfielder and a winger, or a forward, as they're calling it, which is not going to be a centre forward, another position I feel we still need. So I believe, when people say Arsenal are 1 or 2 players away, I think you need to double that. We're 2 to 4 players away, in my opinion, still. Right back doesn't look great to me because Ben White is doing well there. But what happens when we get injuries to the other positions? He is then needed in the middle. Tomiyasu is a really good player, but another one who's played less games than Kieran Tierney last season. So right back looks to be a position that could be in trouble. Although that's not a priority, I do feel that, again, up top, we're short. We've basically replaced Pepe, Aubameyang, Lacazette and Balogun with Jesus. So we're 3 players down. So what happens when Jesus gets an ACL? If he does. Now, listen, I'm touching wood to pray he doesn't. We've got Eddie, who's been coming on and has looked okay and gives energy, is intense, but he's not going to score the goals that Jesus does.
Yeah.
Then we've got
this is why when Hugh on the Big Six said that Arsenal are the closest challengers to City, I had to shut it down immediately. I was like, bro, don't even try that around here, bro.
Man City fans love Arsenal though, don't they?
They love it. They fucking love you lot, man. They really do. Yeah. But it's just not. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen for 2 reasons. It's not going to happen for 2 reasons. One, the squad's not strong enough, as we're mentioning, and 2, the manager's not looked like getting us close to a title yet. So I don't know how anyone can say, Arsenal are looking like they're title challenge ready, when already there's a crisis in midfield. So
it's mad 4 games in we're now there are in midfield in the Premier League in the top of the table with Liverpool, Chelsea, Arsenal. It's insane.
Well, look, just lastly on this one, man. Lastly on this one. Sorry, Lawless. Xhaka and Elneny in 2016 were our midfield. 2022, 3 managers down and over £1 billion spent. They're still our midfield. Come on, man. What's going on? This midfield has been needed to be upgraded for many, many years. And we're looking at Xhaka and Elneny starting in the 4th game of the season against Fulham because we're desperate. So that position needs serious surgery. I'm with Tobes. We need a left 8 and a defensive midfielder, and I still feel we need a winger and a forward. And I can't see all that happening in 2 days' time. So we're going to be short yet again, man. Yeah, again, on their heads be it, man.
Too carried away with your start. You know, yeah, it's good that you've been winning and that, but all this title challenge talk, like as if you was not expected to beat the teams that you've played against.
Agreed.
You know, that's the thing. Like people are forgetting. Okay, sometimes you can lose these games. You know, we've seen sometimes you have an upset and that, but it's nothing like where you can look at it and go, "Oh my God!" Like Arsenal have beaten all these teams. That's incredible. They're going to be going for the title. I don't understand it. You know, the Fulham game was shaky, and you know that winner. Diop for that was an absolute disgrace. This is a player I've defended so many times, time and time again. Really wanted him to do well, and now it's looking like we've, you know, absolutely robbed Fulham. The way he just stood there and was like, "Oh, like, you know, maybe I should defend that now. That's someone else's job. Someone else is going to deal with that." And watched the ball get scored. Shocking, like shocking. So. Time is going to tell, and I think once European football gets ticking and the games start coming thick and fast, we're going to see. You know, we're really,
it's hard to rate everyone's window because there's still a couple of days left. But I don't think our window is stronger than anybody else's on the panel. I don't think I can sit there and say that. I don't think I can say with chest that Arsenal have had a better window than a lot of you guys on this panel, because I still feel we're short. Now, I think some of the players have been better.
Quality is the quantity, isn't it?
The quantity has not been there. I think the quality is there because Jesus is class. I like Zinchenko. I think that we've got some promising players in the Marquinhos and Fabio Vieira. But when you look at it, come on, man. Yeah, Saliba's come back, who's not a signing, but everyone will tell you who he is. But when you look at it, I do feel that there's been some really good business done by other clubs, and I think we're up there with having a good window, but I don't think it's been a great one. I'd probably give it like we're on the 6 or the 7s at the moment. It could go up to a 7 or an 8 or maybe even a 9 if things go ridiculously well for us in the coming days. But I don't see that. I'll be amazed if we get any more than one player. If we do get 2, then it will be a winger and a centre midfielder. But I still feel we're short, man. I can't lie.
And then to follow on from that as well. Dan James at Tottenham. I know Toby's doing as much protesting as he can outside.
I hope this happens, man.
With his banners, his fucking pitchforks. He said, "Guys, I don't give a fuck if any of you don't agree with me. I'm gonna be saying this. If we get this player, the window goes down to a -1."
It goes down. My rating goes down by -1, basically.
Oh, I thought you meant 2 or
what? All right, so Dan, what's your rating then with Dan James?
I said if we sign Dan James, it's going down to a 6 out of 10.
Because it makes you worse. It makes your team worse.
It actually does. To be what's that?
6 out of 10. That's like, and so you had it 7 without Dan James. Wow, I'm surprised. I think that's buzzing off your.
No, I've not. Exactly. There you go again, using other people's narratives. I've been consistent. I've been consistent in my view on the window all summer, but in Lawless's head, I've been wanking.
Because you're like the most positive Spurs fan. You was arguing with Fuad like fierce.
I was arguing with Fuad about Richarlison doing well at Spurs. He's a good player.
You're one of the most positive Spurs fans going. Like, let's be real.
That episode is so fucking goated as well.
I'm realistic with Spurs. I'm a passion merchant as well. So I think with the Dan James stuff.
Look at my arms!
with the Dan James stuff, it's actually making me sick to my stomach. Honestly, it's making me sick.
Where's Conte's play on this, Tobes?
It's more Paratici, bro. Paratici's the one. Paratici's the one that likes him, that scouted him, and for some reason, Conte
has not said.
Conte seems like he would be happy, or he'd be content to take Dan James.
He weren't even the guy at Leeds. Like
he's
not
shit.
even
He's
shit, bro. He's not
the guy anywhere. He's rubbish. He's not. He wasn't even the guy in the championship. He wasn't even the guy in the championship. So
Benrahma was the guy in the championship.
Like, I'm looking at it now. He's not better than Lucas Moura. He's not better than Perisic out wide. Bruv, I would rather keep Brian Hill than
facts.
I would rather keep Brian Hill than flipping waste money on Dan James. What's the point?
How much is he?
Unbelievable for the transitions and counter-attacking.
Well, they bought him for 30 million, so I imagine that they don't want to sell him. So I imagine they'd want to get at least that value back. If not,
but you guys are looking at a loan deal. Why would you loan a player from Leeds? Doesn't that seem a bit backwards?
I don't think they're going to sell him, man. I don't think they're going to sell him anyway.
I don't think it will happen, but I've enjoyed watching Toby's forehead absolutely implode.
If you pay 30 mil for Dan James, I'm trolling you relentlessly. Oh my God. you should, if you pay that, you should give up your Champions League place if you finish top 4. You should just give it up.
Shut up, man. Shut up. So, I think it's not even the stat, to be honest. Like I've defended this window throughout the summer, but I can't lie. The way we're ending this window is making me angry, man. Like
you started so well.
I was definitely expecting another centre back to come in, and it looks like that's not going to happen. We clearly need another centre back. We clearly need one. Like we had this money ready to spend for Bastoni. Like all the credible sources said we did. We had the money ready to spend for Bastoni. But he didn't want to leave Inter, and Inter didn't want to put him on sale. Okay, fine. You can't force a player to come to the club. Okay, but where's your plan B? Where's your plan C? If you've really got 60, 70 million to spend on a centre back, then go and get another one. Like Bastoni isn't the only midfielder. Bastoni isn't the only centre back out there that can come in and make a massive impact on our team. Like clubs, they have lists, they have alternatives. Fuad was actually banging the drum on this weeks back, and I came around to it because at the time I'm like, okay, you know what? If you're telling me that you wanted Bastoni, you can't sign him now, but you think you can get him next summer, I'm prepared to wait if you give me something good as a stopgap. If you give me something good to add to this team for now, and then we get Bastoni next summer, calm. But all we've added as a centre back is Longley. Yeah. And I didn't even want Longley, but okay, on the ball, I can see how it could work for Conte, but it's not enough. When you look at our team,
did he come on at the weekend?
Pardon?
Did he come on at the weekend?
No, he didn't. But when you look at our team, we need technical players in defense, players who can play out comfortably and confidently under pressure, players who can pass the ball, players who can switch a ball and can defend. We need better defenders. I know our defensive record is good, but that's when we're defending our box. When we actually have the ball at our feet, we need to be much better, bro. And in order for us to do that, we need better defenders, better ball-playing defenders, and we don't have that. So
to really push forward and play this style of football you want to play, you leave more space in behind, and that means better quality is needed.
A lot of people bash Spurs for playing poor football, etc., etc. At the moment,
but it suits what you got.
I think people are doing way too much because they've seen us play better with these players. But fundamentally, we have a team now we have players who are just not in their best moment now when it comes to playing out, and two, in some cases, we just don't have the quality to play out from the back. Sanchez can't do it. Yeah. Dyer is average on the ball, so he can play an occasional switch, but he can't do it consistently. Davies is average on the ball. He can play a decent pass on ground, but he can't do it consistently game in, game out. Yeah. Emerson Royale cheats on the ball. When are we going to raise the technical level of this back line? Raise it, bro. And the fact that we're not signing in the centre back this summer, it's pissing me off. It actually is it's pissing me off, bro. Because if you had
there's quite a drop in level of quality in terms of what your front three is class anyway, but your midfield even, and the drop off to your defense. I mean, Romero's decent, but otherwise I'm looking and thinking, which one of those do I think that is that good? And they're all quite average. Sanchez, Dyer, Ben Davies, what's his name, Royale, Sessegnon. I don't look at them and go, Tottenham is going to be hard. The reason Tottenham's hard is because of Conte. The way he sets you up.
You know,
I'm keeping all of that in mind when we do our combined 11.
You know what it is? You know what it is though, Potts. No, trust me. A lot of those players, some of those players will start at West Ham. I'll tell you that for free. But Potts, the thing to bear in mind is these guys are diligent. These guys, irrespective of what people think about them as players, they're diligent in their defensive work. Chicken Royale is a crap footballer with the ball at his feet, but he's diligent in his defensive duties, which is why you've seen an improvement in our defensive record over the past couple of months. Like we're not conceding that many goals. Okay, we're conceding chances. We're letting teams get more chances at us as a result of us either sitting back or being careless in possession. But when it comes to actually defending our box and restricting teams to high quality chances, we're doing that relatively well. The problem is when we actually want to play out from the back and we don't have Romero in the back line and Dyer hasn't got his ping on point and Davies can't be at his best on the ball. What's there? What do we have?
But the thing is that just quickly on Spurs, because a lot of people say this. A lot of people say this to me as well. And when we had George Graham when we were younger, it was like, oh, it was so boring. So I didn't care because we were winning. So if you're winning, do you actually care? I know we all want to watch attractive football, and if you had your ideal team, you want to be playing attractive football and winning. But if you're winning and Conte wins you a trophy and you were boring to watch, do you actually give a damn? Because I wouldn't if I was a Tottenham fan.
Chelsea fans,
it's not even boring because like they're having loads of shots, they're creating chances, they're counter-attacking, they're quick.
There we go.
I would actually prefer that we sometimes sacrifice it. I think having the ball is overrated if you don't know what you're doing with it. And I think if you don't know how to cut through opposition, you don't have elite passing, you don't have incredible structure in place to go past teams in terms of attacking patterns, you may as well sacrifice some possession, sit off a little bit, win it, and then transition and counter quickly.
We played possession football under Pellegrini, and it was some of the most boring football I've ever watched. It was just like pass it sideways, wait for the opening, pass it there, pass it back, pass it there, and it was so boring. Like I prefer when we have counter attack teams, and boom, couple of passes, you're up there, you're creating a chance. Like. Yeah,
I think the thing is, like, for me, whether you agree that it's boring or not wasn't really my point. My point was, if you're winning games, who cares? Like, if you start winning league titles and trophies, do they start looking at it going, oh, they don't deserve that trophy because of the way they played? It was boring. No one says that. They just say they won the trophy.
It's more when, like, if you play ugly football and you don't win trophies, then you're getting absolutely nothing.
Precisely
out of it. That's where the issue lies.
That's where Tottenham need to win something.
I've changed the preview to later on tonight if you're free. I can't be bothered to do it now.
What time are you thinking?
Like after the football.
Okay, yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Speaking of your game, yeah.
But anyway,
you play each other, innit? I forgot you play.
Yeah. Sorry, just on the transfer window, like it's been a positive summer for us for the most part, but I can't, and I'm not gonna let this change my objectives for the season, but I'm not going to pretend that it doesn't make our job a little bit more difficult in the absence of a top centre-back to come in and give us a bit more quality back there. I'm not going to pretend like it doesn't make our job a bit more difficult when the club are looking at players like Dan James, a player who will come in and will make zero improvement on what we have. Where does he improve our team? He's not. Don't give me no rubbish about him playing right wing back. What gives you the evidence that this guy can be a good right wing back when we've literally just signed Jed Spence? And then up top, if you want to play him outright, he's not even better than Lucas Moura. And Lucas Moura is, for all intensive purposes, a mascot right now at Spurs.
It's true. Everything you're saying is spot on. Like there's no need for him whatsoever. There's nothing he brings to the table. There's no part of the team that he strengthens. Huh? No, I don't think it will happen either. But it's funny the fact that it's even a possibility.
Yeah,
the fact that Fabrizio has even had to type that out is worrying enough as it is.
You lot
here we go. That's what I need.
Huh?
You lot are in advanced talks to sign Vardo.
No way.
Yeah,
the centre off.
Yeah, and he'll stay on loan. He'll stay on loan for.
He's highly rated.
He'll stay on loan at Leipzig and then he'll join next season.
What? No, we're not. Oh, him, the brother that was mad expensive.
Yeah, bro.
Where you see this?
It's on Fabrizio's Twitter.
Bomba clot! Lord have mercy! Oh shit, bro! Is this carnival? What the fuck? That is insane. How the hell? What? No, Todd Boehly's mad. Todd Boehly's gone crazy, fam.
You've had the best window, by the way, just so you know. 100% for me. Chelsea. I think Chelsea have had a really good window, man.
Interesting. The best window.
Where has that even come from?
Out of the panel, this is, by the way. Out of this panel, I think Chelsea have had the best out of this panel.
90...
I think City are up there, obviously. But
official proposal submitted, 90 million euros.
Wow. This guy's spending more money than Roman. What the hell is going on?
This club this is... It's ridiculous.
You're going to get Aubameyang. You're going to get De Jong probably. It's just mad, isn't it? It's mad. Chelsea are going to do a madness. It's crazy. And Tuchel's going to be a good enough manager to get him playing. So
I'm
Man,
speechless.
they're gonna have a good year, man. Chelsea are gonna sort it out. Unfortunately,
if they do, that I said that top four is gonna be tight. But yeah,
it's already tight between Arsenal, Spurs, and Chelsea. But Chelsea have put themselves right back in it, in my opinion, with those signings if they get it right.
They were never out of it for me.
I think everybody said that on here. Chelsea were always in with that.
None of us
Matisse is cracking
none of
up,
us.
man. He's loving
I
it.
honestly cannot contain my laughter. This is beyond absurd.
Do you know
how much? 90 million euros. Do you know 90 million euros and Fofana? Like, what the fuck?
100 and almost 200 million euros on 2 centre backs. Thomas Tuchel is tapped. Absolutely tapped, but fair play.
Todd's not here to play games, mate. He's not here to play. He's here to win. Big Todd Boehly.
That right there is one of the most outlandish fucking things I've read all summer. I'm sorry, I can't quite believe we're about to spend 90 million euros on someone who's not even starting for us right now. He's actually
20 years old as well.
Yeah, he's 20. He's going to be here next summer.
Big change. To be honest, I'm not really too angry about him. Like my friends tell me he's sick, and it is what it is.
Thiago Silva replacement.
We're linked with him, but like,
what? American owners aren't as bad as people make out. Really, American owners. I'm looking now and I'm thinking, boy, you got Todd's splashing the cash, Glazier smash the cash, the Kroenkes. Like I'm hearing, like I've heard like Arsenal fans, Dan Potts as well. Kroenke this, Kroenke that, mate. Kroenke.
Let's not go there, Lawless.
The team, Kroenke. I told you the other week we're gonna go there. Kroenke has backed your team, mate, and I want to hear an apology to Stanley Kroenke because. And I truly believe this, that all them years where he weren't really splashing the cash was down to Wenger. I think Wenger had too much control. He didn't want, to spend big. His philosophy was that you shouldn't have to spend crazy money on players. He didn't believe in that. And now he's gone. We've seen him splash the cash. So really, Kroenke
he's already splashed the cash. He always did splash the cash. The difference with Kroenke is he didn't care where it was spent on and who spent it. That's my biggest ambition. Where's his ambition to win? There hasn't been any at Arsenal since we've had him as an owner. So we can't sit there and start lapping it up saying, "Oh, this guy spends money and gets us fifth." Well, hey.
But that is ambition, though. Spending money is ambition, though, isn't it?
No, it's not. Ambition. No, it's not. Spending money and giving it to the right people to spend it in the right areas and allowing the expertise of it is the ambition to win. He was crap. He was crap.
What?
He was crap. Mislintat was awful. Tell me a player apart from Aubameyang he signed.
He was dead. He was dead.
He didn't get time though. He wasn't even there.
He got us Socrates. He got us Dennis Suarez. He got us Liechtensteiner. He got us Socrates, Mkhitaryan. You think any of those were good?
He wasn't there long enough to implement. But like
he was there too long, mate. All them players were crap.
but he was highly rated though. He was highly rated.
It wasn't good enough, bro.
But so he's tried to get the right people in. He's tried every time, and now he's got Edu in that Arsenal fans are loving.
Try harder. Try harder.
He trusted the process, which Arsenal fans wanted. Stan, he's a good owner, really. And like Arsenal fans have tried to chuck it to me, go, we got the worst owners in the league. Get out of here, man. Stan is the man for you. Trust me. I think apologies. If you win something this season, if you get top 4, you got to apologize to Stan Kroenke. That's the process. Stan's process. Not Arteta's process. It's been Stan's process. All the Arsenal fans, I'm going to get it from Arsenal fans, but just ask yourself this, like, really and truly, the only thing that he's done wrong is probably not sacking certain managers when they should have been sacked. That's it. That's all he's done wrong.
Who? Kroenke?
I'm going to say that. Huh?
Who?
Stan Kroenke.
Nah, you're buzzing, man.
How? The only thing he's done wrong is not sack, maybe let Wenger carry on too long, but I understand that.
It's a clear lack of neglect to make the club better, bro. It's about putting the right people in the positions of power to actually make Arsenal the team that they were a couple of years back. He hasn't tried that.
He's not had no Ed Woodward.
Listen. First, he withheld funds. I don't even know why I'm doing this because I don't. What do you mean when?
I'm gonna let you know. I know I hate your football team, but you're talking sense.
Listen, he's talking shit because they built a stadium, which you Arsenal fans knew the purse strings were going to be tight for a few years while you pay off the Emirates, Then Wenger didn't. He's not a guy who likes to splash big on players. He does not splash big on football players.
Bro,
He's said that.
I can't believe we're doing this, man. I can't believe.
Then, like realistically, Kroenke probably.
So you would want him at West Ham. You would want Kroenke tomorrow at West Ham.
I wouldn't. Based on what I've seen at Arsenal, I wouldn't be mad at it. Like, it's not like he would be.
You would have the confidence that Kroenke would take West Ham to where you want him to be.
I'd have the confidence that he would try to employ football people in charge and release the funds when they need to be released.
So who are the football people you've been impressed with at Arsenal then that he's employed?
No, but look at it now. Edu's a footballer. Like I said, he's not employing no Ed Woodwards, is he? He's employing football people. So, like I said,
so Edu. So you take Edu. You take Edu at West Ham.
As a like director of football, well, we've got Rob Newman, who was obviously at Man City, but I wouldn't be mad at it. Like, I'd rather that than Sullivan take Hulk in charge of the transfers. I'd rather have an Edu there or a missing Tat, or I can't remember the other guy. Who did you have before Edu? Did Eddie take over from missing?
We had Raul Sanlehi and Chris Farmy, but they were crooks, which is why they paid 72 million for Pepe and then got told to leave. So if you want them, man, go take them.
If you want them, man,
they're available. They're available, man. If you want all these people that you say Kroenke's great at, you can have Husfami. He's available. Raul Sanley, he still hasn't got a job. Neither has Sven. I think Sven Mislintat's gone to Stuttgart. You keep saying that West Ham are better than them. You'll be able to grab him. So go take them all, Lawless. Go take them all. If you want these people that Kroenke's employed that are so great, go get them, man, for West Ham.
Yeah, but
they're available, bro.
But it's not like none of your fans know, like, oh, here's who we should get to be director of football.
But that's not the fans' fault, though, is it?
It's not easy.
The fans aren't supposed to tell Kroenke, the owner, who to go and get. He's supposed to know.
In fact, the fans have full-time jobs. why is like Steve, the construction worker, got to finish his big long shift and then fucking get that train from Charing Cross all the way down to fucking God knows where, and come off and then have his dinner, tuck in, and then fucking start researching for a scout for a scout. What is this?
I'm not being funny, but Steve gets home from construction. You know, he gets his Arsenal shirt on. He goes on AFTV and starts telling the owners, you need to sign this player, you need to bring this person in, get this manager.
Because they've got an opinion. Yeah, they got an opinion.
But you ain't got an opinion on
they're not giving. They're not
Listen,
paid.
I'll load up Football Manager and I'll tell you who should have in half an hour. Just bear with me. Listen, before we come to a close, right? Because there's games actually I got to start looking at as well tonight. Chelsea play, but let's quickly rate everybody's windows in terms of like rival perspectives before we go.
Okay.
Tottenham, Tobs kind of gave his rating. Dan, you gave your rating for West Ham, and Potts, we kind of know how you feel about Arsenal, but from just everybody's rival perspective, Tobes, what would you rate Arsenal's window in terms of like incomings and obviously the outgoings as well? I'll get it up for you. So obviously they signed Jesus, Zinchenko, Vieira,
Jesus,
Turner, Marquinhos came in, Saliba came in, and then on the outgoings you've got Guendouzi, Torreira, Leno.
Really, I'm not counting Saliba.
Yeah, Pepe left as well.
Was one of their players already.
What you give that out of 10? Would you say?
I'll give it a 6 out of 10.
Damn.
I'll give it a 6 out of 10 window. I think they've signed a guy who can finally get them at least 15, potentially at minimum 15 Premier League goals, and I think potentially you can get them maybe like 18, 19 just to start off the season with. I think they've added depth in the left back position, and they've gotten Zinchenko, a player who in possession will give them what they want to play the system that they play. I still think Zinchenko is not a good defender, and I feel like that will be targeted by better sides. But for the most part, I think he's a sensible signing for Arsenal. I've always maintained that. But yeah, Fabio Vieira, I don't know anything about that pipsqueak, but he looks like he's got tech. He looks like he's got tech, and he's another body to add into the midfield. So I guess you could say that they've added depth in their midfield. But I still think that they haven't addressed the issue at right wing. Although they've sold Pepe, they haven't addressed the issue at right wing. They haven't addressed, by the issue, I mean bringing in someone who can actually challenge Saka for a spot, or bringing in an attacker who can not only challenge Saka for a spot, but can also play on the left. Just another attacker. Who
someone across the whole front line.
Who can guarantee them goals over the course of the season. I don't think they've done that beyond Jesus. The Thomas Partey, when we've spoken about that already, I think that's a big problem for them. The left centre mid, I think that's a big problem for them. And right back, I think all it takes is 1 or 2 injuries and you're back to Cedric. So yeah, I think they've done enough to remain competitive, but whether they've done enough to sort of puff their chest out and be flat outright favorites, I don't know.
I don't think that's unfair, your rating. Actually, I don't think it is unfair, to be fair. I'll give it to 6 or 7, didn't I? So
yeah. What about you, Lawless? What would you give it?
I do think that's unfair. Personally, I was surprised. Because I just think when you look at the team as a whole, like I think Tobs was right. There's a lot of holes still there, but I think obviously they've massively improved on the team they had last season. So I would be looking at like 7 to 8 really for them. I think they've really improved their team, but obviously they need a couple more signings really to set it to that perfection. But yeah, if you twist my arm, maybe I will go 7.
I'd give it a 7 as well. Yeah, I think just not enough quantity, but at least the quality's there. Let's give Tottenham their ratings as well as rivals. Lawless, the very unbiased Tottenham loving Lawless.
Yeah, right. Okay.
I'll go through it if you want in terms of like incomings, Richarlison, Romero. Obviously, Romero's come in and been permanent now. The 45 million. Basuma. You've got Spence, and then who is this kid from Udinese, the left back? He's
gone back out on loan.
Okay, right. So there's no point really mentioning him, I guess. Perisic, Foster, Langley, and then outgoings Bergwijn and Ndombele, basically, and obviously Reguilon and Lo Celso and all these guys. Winks.
They started bright, like their window, like it looked like it was gonna be a great window, and they picked up some good buys and some bargains and that, and they slowed right down, like really, and haven't really built up that strength in depth in many positions apart from Richarlison and that. But so yeah, like to me, I'd look at it as a 6, and that's only because like the forward players that they've got, you can't really say like, they're not players that you would upgrade on, like Kane, Son. Obviously, they've got Kulusevski, who he was on loan and he was turned permanent, wasn't he?
Yeah.
If you add him, maybe stretch that to a 7 because he's looking really good. If you count that, even though he was there last season, but we weren't counting Saliba. So boy, 6 if you're not counting Kulusevski, 7 if you count him. To be fair, but yeah, they need to do a bit more. Oh, but if you count Dan James, we might have to drop that down to a 5 to 6. So we'll see. But yes, let me go 7. I'll count Kulusevski. I'll be nice to Tobes. I'll go.
I'd give it a 7 as well. I can't rank it lower than Arsenal's, but I can't rank it too much higher either. I think both of them have brought in some quality, but could do some more as well. Potts, what about you? Where are you ranking it?
Yeah, I'm similar. I don't feel like we could say Arsenal and Tottenham have covered all their positions. There's still time, but I do think Tottenham's got issues at the back. I don't think their midfield is outstanding, but I do think they've improved it with Basuma. Their front three is nuts, and they're definitely going to be scoring goals. And Richarlison is going to definitely come on and cause a nuisance, as we saw at the weekend. He's just going to be one of the next Tottenham player that everyone hates, which Tottenham fans will love. So I'm going to give it, between a 6 and a 7 as well. I don't think it's been a madness, but I don't think it's been a shocker, if I'm honest with you. So yeah, I'm similar.
Yeah, I can't really argue against any of these.
I think that's pretty fair. I mean, West Ham, Tobes, what did you give a rating in the end for that one?
I think they've had I would say they've had like an 8 or 8.5 out of 10 window, simply because I think they've not only ticked off so many positions in their team, I think they've been able to pad their team with quality in comparison to what they had before. They've been able to pad their team with quality, and I think they've actually been able to add some genuine starters. Like I look at Scamacca, I think he will be a starter. Paqueta, if all goes to plan, he will be a starter.
Yeah.
Based off what Lawless was telling us about Aguerd, he looks like he would have been a starter alongside Kurt Zuma. Emerson looks like he can oust
Cresswell.
Cresswell, certainly defensively anyway. So that's what, like 3-4 starters they've added. And then you look at Cornet, then you look at Keira. Then you look at
bargain of the season goalkeeper.
Then you look at bargain of the season Areola. And then who's that bum that you lot signed in midfield?
Flynn Downs.
Downs, 23 from Swansea.
Yeah, sorry, Flynn Downs. Flynn Downs. Sorry, Flynn.
Only Spurs signed bums from Swansea.
Sorry. Yeah. So they've had a very strong window. So I'll give it 8.5 out of 10. I think the only thing that they were lacking was, as I said, just that piece in the midfield.
I'm gonna give it a 9 just because I didn't expect that from you lot. I really didn't. Like, you guys have actually gone out there and actually proper gone for it. So I'm gonna give you I'm gonna give you a 9. If you got that midfielder, it would be a 10. And I think the outgoings as well, when I look at them, like, you got rid of players that needed to leave as well. Like, the fact that Vlasic is gone and Fredericks is gone, and like, I give credit in the bank for those ones leaving as well. Diop as well. What about you, Potts? What are you giving it?
Listen, West Ham fans should be giving it a 10 because they finally got a centre forward. I mean, Christ, how long has it been?
And it's a good one as well, like a proper centre forward.
Yeah,
like
proper centre forward who looks like he knows where the goal is. Like, I know he hasn't been hitting four or five goals yet, but I think he looks good, man, and I think he's a good signing. I like Paqueta. I like what they've done, West Ham. I'm going to give him an 8.5. I do think they're a midfield short, and perhaps they do need a little bit of backup in certain areas, but I think they've probably had the best window, certainly that I can remember, in a very long time. So I think they deserve that rating, to be fair.
Finally,
bits, man, just them bits. But apparently we're not done. I'm looking forward to seeing this next week. See if we want to adjust our ratings for sure. Like, I am mad, in it, because obviously deadline day is coming up this week. But apparently we're not done. But I think those ratings are solid. I think they're solid.
Chelsea.
Well, the next person you're rated with, Arsenal and Spurs will probably hijack it, mate. So just watch out.
You know, like, you like to try and hijack our signings.
Chelsea finally. I mean, I'll start off and I'd give it a 9. I give it a 9.5. I think, again, the only thing missing to make it a 10, considering the circumstance, is why I'm giving it so high, is the fact that it's new owners. They've only just come through the door, and they've already, for me, kind of been showing that they're very serious, and they didn't have the knowledge of a director of football, and they did get rid of some people in the hierarchy as well, which probably needed to leave just to give it that real reshape. And then on top of that, they've gone out there and really tried their best for players. Like, they've been picked by Barcelona due to preference. They're a bigger club, but they've really gone out there. Cucurella, Sterling, Koulibaly, Chukwuemeka. They've had 2 different windows, one for the future, one for the now. The Inter Milan midfielder, Scorino, the goalkeeper, Fofana. If they get Gavardal as well, that's nuts. And for me, what's making it so high is not really even the incomings. It's more the outgoings. I think when you get rid of Werner, Lukaku, Emerson, Sarr, obviously the 2 centre-backs were already gone out of your control and you had to replace those. Hudson-Odoi's finally got a loan today by Leverkusen. That was needed. Barkley just got released. Drinkwater released. Sal obviously sent back. Like, that's impressive. I've never seen so much deadwood leave my club in one window. So
but boy, really, you took a hit on that deadwood, man. I think
we did, but that's not their fault. That's the previous board. So for them to come in financially, and just take that hit on all them players, fair play, man. It's impressive. What would you give it, Lawless?
Yeah, it's a tough one. I still feel like you need to get that striker over the line. Obviously, seeing what's happening with Aubameyang, which obviously there was a news of what happened to him. So hopefully, that doesn't affect him too much, and hopefully he's not hurt or anything, and his family are safe with that. Like, all of that happened over there. So, but that's one I feel like you need to get over the line. That's a missing piece, a goal scorer, maybe a creator. Had a bit more creativity in the midfield, and then someone actually in that centre midfield role. That's the sort of positions that I'm really looking at Chelsea. So I would say like an 8.5, to be honest, for Chelsea's window. But apparently, like you said, like Tobs was saying, Fabrizio saying, you're still signing a couple more. But yeah, if you get that Aubameyang over the line, and then maybe look at either a creator or that centre midfielder, then boy, that could definitely take it to 10 levels.
Maybe I'll put mine down to a 9 actually, because like you said, forward 5, and then I think midfielder would be giving it another 0.5. So I'll put it at 9. Potts, what about you?
I'm going to give you a 9. I think you've had the best window out of us on this panel, man. I can't lie. I look at what you've done. I'm hearing rumours of Zaha, Aubameyang, De Jong. I mean, Christ, if these are coming in the coming days as well, to add to what Fofana, Koulibaly, Sterling, Cucurella, the 2 young players you've brought in as well from Villa and from Inter Milan. Boy, you're touching on a perfect window.
That'd be like an 11.
Secret Scout mentioned Neymar today. I don't know where the fuck that came from. That ain't happening.
I mean, honestly, Matisse, I can't see any of your fans come complain about this window, man. I think you've definitely had the best window for me out of us 4. I think what the owner's done is come in and said, I know that Roman likes to spend. I'm going to do what he did and go and do a madness. And if this report's true from Romano about you doing that business as well next season when Thiago goes, as Silva goes, man, it's going to be Chelsea looking excited if you're a Chelsea fan, man. I can't lie. So, yeah, I'll give it a 9 out of 10, bro.
Oh, I've just seen that Ziyech to Ajax is off. That might actually drop my rating. All right. Tobes, what would you mark it?
It's been strong, man. I'll give it 8.5 again. I think it's still missing because I imagine you'll sign Aubameyang. I think you should be signing someone better than Aubameyang personally, but I'll give it an 8.5 as well. I think you've literally put your money where your mouth is. You've overpaid, grossly overpaid for a lot of these players, or 3 of these players in particular, to be honest. But listen, if you want the player, pay what you want. Fair play to Chelsea. Chelsea fans don't care about the fee; they just care that they got the player. So, yeah, two centre backs where you lost to in Rudiger, and in fact 3 centre backs to replace 2 that you lost, plus 1 that's going to be upcoming for the future.
Yeah,
and left back to give you cover for Chilwell. You now have an attacker in Raheem Sterling who's capable of scoring around 15 league goals in the season. I can't really shit on Chelsea's window, man. I think you've done as well as you could. I think there's still things you could do to make it a 10. Midfield, I think, is key. I think midfield is crying out for another option. Been saying it, but
yeah. I think they're going to go for Declan Rice next summer. I'm not going to lie.
Even without it, it's still been a strong window.
Lawless.
Yeah, I can see Fuad praising it on the TL right now. I've just seen Cams has done a great interview with Fabrizio as well. Big up to him, and he's asked people he's asked Fabrizio what does he make of people calling him a tap-in merchant, and Fabrizio saying even Jesus was not always appreciated.
Jeez. What? I hope that was tongue in cheek.
It probably was, but that's the quote that Lyles has put above it, and obviously he's just joined them as well. Big up to him, Man United fan, great editor. So yeah, but listen, we're gonna wrap up. What a show, man! Hilarious as always, and best of luck for the rest of the window, guys. Listen, if Dan James comes in, then we know where to find Tobs, TapinTobs on YouTube. Make sure you go and check out that. It's gonna be a great reaction. But Lawless, let them know where to find you, bro.
Yes, you can find me at The Lawless on Twitter. Obviously, West Ham Fan TV. You got to watch along on Wednesday. Jace is doing that on West Ham Fan TV. I'm going to be on DR Sports with Matisse and Fuad doing the West Ham Spurs game, which is going to be
crazy. I'm going to be there.
Oh, fuck.
You're joking.
Oh, God. I have to host you two and Blood Clot.
Good luck, man. Good luck.
I'm outnumbered. What's going on?
You better bring Nikki. Maybe Nikki will be there. I don't know.
Nah, man.
No, he won't, will he? Yeah.
If I have to watch the game with Toad, that's good. We better win. That's good. I was kind of like, do you know what? Yeah, Fuad's chill. Like, okay, it's going to be unpleasant, but, that adds a whole nother dimension. No one told me he was coming. But yeah, hopefully, like next time that you see me on this channel, we would have smashed Spurs, smashed Chelsea, and I'll be walking on this show like Vince McMahon doing the walk and giving people a lot of smoke. Fingers crossed. Oh, mate, if we beat Spurs and Chelsea, mate, by next week, it's going to be unpleasant for certain people. So fingers crossed. But yeah, man, great show.
Pots, let them know, bro. Let them know where to find you. Pleasure, bro.
Nice one, pleasure as well, mine. At Dan Arsenal87 on socials, and please come and follow support the YouTube channel that I've started up now called Football's 12th Man Podcast, which is of course involving the Race for Europe show with Lawless, Tobs, myself, Lewis, and Dan United also, which is going to be a weekly show, and there's also Race for Europe and Fight for Survival shows as well. So we cover all content for Premier League stuff. So thank you, Matisse, appreciate it.
Oh, we're doing it Friday, isn't it, as well? It's Friday.
Yeah, Friday. It will be Friday 5 o'clock for Race for Europe, and I'm looking forward to it because obviously West Ham and Spurs are going to be at it on Wednesday. So let's see. One of these guys is going to not be very happy, or they both might be. Maybe it's a draw and they both calm. I don't know. We'll see what happens, won't we?
Tobes, let them know, bro. Pleasure as always.
Yeah, TapinTobs on all socials. Doing a preview of Lawless tonight. Yeah, it's going to be good. We're going to do a combined 11, and I'm not going to let him force.
Oh, are you doing another one? Oh, why do you do this to yourselves, man?
Oh, God.
No, I'm going to kill him. I'm going to kill him because last time round he tried that bullshit, so it's not happening this time.
Is Souček getting into this one? I'll tell you.
No way.
Yeah, I think he could as like a false nine or something.
Please do not.
He wishes he could get into this midfield.
There you go.
We'll
guys,
see. We'll see. Tune in to find out.
Make sure you subscribe to all the boys. Links in the description as always. For me, smash up the likes. I know you've enjoyed the show. It's been brilliant as per usual. And until next time in a bit, people. Peace.